Music is better when we're together. Listening to music, listening to music, listening to music. Music is better when we're together. Listening to music, 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 music. Music is better when we're together. Listening to music, listening to music. Music is better when we're together. Listening to music,
Amazing, amazing, amazing. What's up, everyone? How are we doing? Welcome to the Elite Mindset Call. We are back, right, with the mindset call, the Saturday, where everyone from around the world tunes in to listen in and learn. I mean, if you're ready to learn more today and to I guess elevate your frequency. Yeah, put ready in the chat, put some fire in the chat. Who is fired up for this call? Look, I have the honor, I have the yes, I feel very honored today to be able to bring up an individual. If you're new to this call, my name is Rehan or Ray Sabarali, and I have actually been working together with the individual I'm about to bring up. He is a very dear business partner, a very dear mentor, and a very, very dear friend as well, who I have had the pleasure of traveling around the world with, working together with, someone that has really changed my life. But it's actually these calls, guys, and I want to bring on take 1 or 2 minutes to really reflect how far we have come with these calls, where we now have a brand attached to these calls, right? To these mindset calls, which I still remember the very first mindset call I attended. And I'm telling you, it was these calls that have really shifted a lot in my mindset, in my frequency, in the way I do business. So I hope that the same to you. And the one thing I recommend to you, if you're on this call today, get the most out of this call. And the way to do that is to either record this call, but make sure you have a notebook and a pen. All right, you make sure you have one of these, right? With maybe a positive affirmation on this. This is another idea as well. And have a pen with you, because I am telling you, most of the things you listening today, you'll forget 90% of it. You'll only remember 10%, but it's things like these that you write down, which really are the treasures for you much later. And the second thing, I know someone put it in the chat, make sure you have your goal cards, or make sure you have your goal in mind. It will be amazing. But without further ado, I want to bring on the legend, the king, Mr. Jason Solomon. And I think the topic today is going to be amazing as well. So I want to pass it over to you and bless us, man. Bless us with your knowledge. And let's do it, man. You're looking good as well.
Blessings, blessings. What's up, bro? Ray, I appreciate you opening this up, man. I was a little tardy on time, but I appreciate you, having my back as always. How's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? Fill me in the chat. So let me know, or unmute your line. Let me know how you all are feeling.
Fantastic. Couldn't be better.
Fantastic. I
Feeling
love
fantastic.
it. Fantastic. That's the word of the day. Let's go. Blessed and highly favored. We got great. Who else?
Amazing.
How are we feeling today? Amazing. Fresh. Let's go. I like being fresh. That's a good feeling, isn't it? Who wants to be dusty? We want to be fresh, don't we? All right. Running in from AZ. All right, let's go. Traveling the world, ready to learn. Amazing. Listen, you all know the rules. Ray kind of stated it. All right. So if you all are brand new to this call, I know we have a couple new people that are tuning in. First off, I have a few rules, I have a few requirements. Number one, I want to make sure your cameras are on and you are paying attention. All right. I want to make sure you all take massive value from today's call because I had a great conversation with one of the rock stars who I've been fortunate to work with, Dylan, who's absolutely smashing it in the business, and I've been mentoring him for 2 years now. But in his new deal, for about 2 months, I've been giving him some guidance, and he came to me with a good idea. He said, "You know what? You should kind of create a program, which is something that we've always talked about. Me and Ray have always discussed when it came to what we're doing." And I said, "You know what? You're right." And so when I do these calls, all right, how many of you have been on the previous deals where we've done different topics, right? The calls have been recently. The calls have not just been Q&As, but they've been specific topics like habits of the elite. All right, we've done two of the habit of the elite calls. That is actually the one that I'm going to turn into a purchasable program. So I'm gonna do Habit Elite Part 3 probably next week, and that's going to be the full series. I'm going to sell those for people to have access to the value. But I'm turning these into different series because I want to make sure that we hit the nail on the head. All right, when you're into personal growth, when you're looking to change your life, I need you all to understand. You all have this thing that's called a paradigm, right? You're all working with this thing called ingrained belief systems, habit patterns. And so when we're working with habit patterns, belief system, and most of the beliefs that we have don't serve us. They don't lead to success. 97% of the world is struggling somehow, some way. So most of the beliefs that we have are not success driven beliefs, Thomas. So what we have to understand is that we're working with years, 18, 19. For me, it was 18 years of programming. I got in personal growth when I was 18 years old. That's when my life changed. My growth day is August the 13th, 2015. That's when I made a decision that I'm going to change the course of my life. But when we get into personal growth, we have to understand one call is not going to change your life. One book is not going to change your life. Most people think they can read one book, shut the book, and they think they're going to be a millionaire. It doesn't work like that. All right. And if you ever made any type of money, then you understand what I'm saying. If you've ever done anything of any significance, right? Notice I didn't say success, I said significance. If you've ever done anything of any significance, then you know it doesn't happen in one night. I heard a quote that said it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. Maybe write that down if you're taking notes. Remember, I got rules. Cameras on. Unless you're doing something weird. Don't don't turn your camera on if you're doing something weird, all right? But if you can, have your cameras on. Number two, take notes. Take notes. Because yes, these quotes, they sound amazing, right? Oh, it takes 10 years to be an overnight success. Wow, that's an amazing quote. But if you actually write that down and read it often, then I guarantee you it will shift something that you have internally. When I said it takes 10 years to be an overnight success, what that means is the success you see today, it took 10 years to produce. I think Warren Buffett said a quote, someone is standing in the shade today because of a tree someone planted 30 years ago. So if you all want to grow, where am I getting at? It's a process. That's why I'm doing different series of calls. This call is called the laws of the universe. All right, I can do like 20 different calls on the laws of the universe, or I can do a call per law. All right. So we got a lot of different laws. But when it comes down to these calls, I want to make sure you are getting value every single week. Okay. So let's get into it. If you're ready, put ready in the chat. Let me see if I got my setup right. If you're ready, put ready in the chat. Hold on. Who's ready? If you're tired, put tired in the chat. All right. And then whoever puts tired in the chat, put them in the waiting room. All right, we're kicking people out. Anyways, no, I'm not gonna kick you guys out. I like you too much. All right. Does anybody know the laws of the universe? Or not just the laws of the universe. Does anyone understand the laws that we're going to talk about? Because there's a lot of universal laws. All right, Ian's ready. Let's F and go, man. I can't say it. This is what I learned. Ian's from Canada. So saying hello is just as like saying a curse word. All right. So if you've never been to Canada, you have to check it out for yourself. It's a very interesting place. Ian knows what I'm talking about. But anyways, let's F and go. All right. So, did anybody understand the universal laws? Do you know what they are? Joseph, what's up, brother? Good to have you on here. Joseph, make sure you're taking notes. Have your camera on. Have a goal in mind, brother. All right, if you can.
Sure, thank you.
Yes, sir. Does anyone understand the universal laws or know what the universal laws are? Just drop them in the chat. What are the universal laws that I'm going to be talking about today? Gravity. All right. Ray, that's one of them, but that's not one of our topics. Well, you know what? I can talk about gravity. Because if you jump off a building, you're going to fall regardless of your beliefs. So gravity is one of them. All right, law of gender. I see Ray put it in the chat. Let me see. Let me look at the chat. Anyone know the universal laws? Law of polarity, law of vibration. Stephanie said law of attraction. Natasha said gender. Hermetic teachings. Right. You're right, Ian. What else? Perpetual transmutation. All right, listen. Before I explain to you all or share with you the laws that I'm going to go over, I gotta take it back a little bit. All right, I want you all to take notes. Does anybody remember how to take notes? Okay, let me train you on something really quick because I got a bunch of rookies for you today. I got some new drafted players today. All right, let me teach you all how to take notes. Just put I get it in the chat when you can see my whiteboard or I can see. Just put I can see in the chat. All right, what I'm about to give you all, and I say this on every single call, but I mean it with every fiber in my body. If I were to do this call on a corporate level for an hour and a half, I would charge them $10,000 to $15,000. Do y'all hear those numbers? If I were to do this call on a corporate level, you would have had to pay me $10,000 to $15,000. So that's how serious I want you to take every little thing I say, every word. I even want you to take how I say the words. Extremely serious. Because for the past 9 years of me being in personal growth, I've paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to get this information. I didn't skip any steps. I traveled from end to end, video to video to get this information. So I need you all to take this information extremely serious because if you do, like I said, your life's not going to change over life. I heard Jim Rohn say that you cannot change your life overnight, but you can change the direction of your life overnight. Does that make sense, Joseph? Just put, I get it in the chat. Does that make sense, Tom? You can't change your life overnight. But Rob, you can change the direction of your life overnight. And shout out to Rob, because he did the other night. So what I'm about to share with you all, I need you to all take this in and take this serious. This was given to me by a billionaire. This is how, first off, I need you all to learn how to take notes. All right? If you got a piece of paper, this is how you should break up your paper. Can you all see this? Is the call recording, Natasha? This meeting is being recorded. All right, because someone asked me to. All right. Another little pop-up. If you're taking notes, I want this section at the top right to be things to do. Things to do. Now, why is this section called things to do? Because I'm not here just giving you motivational ideas. Yesterday, I was listening to John Maxwell. He said most people are going in the wrong direction, and motivation speeds you up in the direction you're going. So I don't just want to motivate you, Rob. I want to give you directional things, actionable steps that you can take. That's why all of you that are in my groups, you're all seeing some type of results. I'm getting text message every single day from somebody that's earning more income. Someone just had their biggest sales month. Someone just made the most income. Someone just helped more people. Someone just did something they never, ever thought they can do in this group because I want to make sure you all get actionable steps. All right. So left side, things to do. So when you're listening to what I'm saying, I need you to, when you hear something that you can do and take action on, you put it in this section. All right. Now on the right-hand side, this is called things to get. Things to get. Are you all getting this? Is this making sense? Just put make sense in the chat. And if I were you, I wouldn't leave this call because I know some people jump in and out of these calls. If I were you, I would be here for the next hour. Things to get. So if I suggest, hey, listen, here's a book I was reading. Hey, listen, here's an audio I was listening to. Hey, listen, I read this the other day. I was reading this chapter the other day. I was listening to this person. I heard a quote from this person. You probably should look them up. Things to get. If you're around a mentor, I'm going to teach you all this. I've had mentorship from the best in the world, from Bob Proctor. You all know that. From his wife, but there were some other individuals around them. Wolfgang, there was a lean. There were so many powerful people that I was around that were my mentors. And here's the thing that I learned about mentors. Mentorship is not always something that's verbal. It's mostly visual. So when you get around mentors, I want you to watch, how do they walk? How do they talk? What are they wearing? Maybe you should write down, man, what's their demeanor? What are they wearing? Or do they have a haircut? Things to get. Maybe write down, get a haircut. The little things. So in this category, I want you to write down things to get. And then down here, I want you to write down inspirational ideas. So if there's a quote that resonates with you that I said, you want to write it down here. Now, this is how you're going to take notes to maximize what I'm sharing with you. All right, you all getting this? So let's get into it. I want to talk about the laws of the universe. I learned about the laws when I was 18 years old. Actually, I learned about it probably when I was 19 or 20. The laws changed my, how do I get this off here? Oh, there we go. Understand the universal laws changed my life. All right. Now, I want you all to understand this. When I talk about the laws of the universe, it's not something that you're going to change, okay? Because the laws were here way before we were here. Rob, is not something that's just new, just because it's your first time hearing it, that it's a new concept. It's been around since time was created. These are universal laws that have been set in stone that no man can change, that no man will shift, but we have to learn how to work with the laws. All right. I want you all to get this book. It's called Working with the Laws. How many of you just wrote that down in the things to get section? Good. You're being coachable, not chokeable. All right. I want you all to get the book called Working with the Laws. Now, when I got the book, Reese, Working with the Laws, that's what changed it for me. All right. Now, I'm going to go over the different universal laws. Then I'm going to explain them for you all because I want you all to get these. There's 7 laws in the universe that if you master these, especially those that are in entrepreneurship. How many of you are entrepreneurs in here? How many of you want to become an entrepreneur, want to be a better entrepreneur? Just put me in the chat or just some type of emoji that represents it. How many of you want to earn more income? If you don't want to earn more income, give it to me. And when I say that, I'm being very serious. If you don't want the money, just give it to me. How many of you want to have better health? I want you all to write this down. You don't have to be sick to get healthier. When I explain the laws, this will make a lot of sense. All of you want to become wealthier. You don't have to be broke to get rich. So when I explain the laws, I don't want you to take these laws from the bottom up. I want you to take them from where you currently are. How many of you want to improve your relationships with people? Maybe you're tired of your dog cussing at you. I don't know. Some of y'all get in arguments with your animals all the time. Maybe you want to have a better relationship with your spouse, your mom, your kids, whatever it is. I'm telling you, these laws are what we literally call magic. Make sense, Joseph? Austin. All right, I'm going to go over the universal laws. I'm going to write these up on my whiteboard. Y'all to take notes on them. And of course, if y'all want to, we can do a Q&A and all this other stuff. But I want to get through these laws really quick. All right. 7 laws. And I'm probably going to butcher how I spell these. The first law of transmutation. Transmutation. All right. And don't mind the handwriting. All right. I know some of y'all are English teachers on the line, and you're like, this, Jason, that's not how you spell transmute. Listen, don't do that. Don't judge me. All right, you don't gotta be smart to get rich. Trust me. You know, or educational smarts. All right. The first law is the law of transmutation. Now, I remember learning these. We would do calls with my mentors, and they would break these down to the T. Law of transmutation. And once I give you the laws, I'm going to explain what they mean. All right. Law of transmutation means that energy is constantly in motion. Energy is constantly changing form. I'll give you all an example of the law of transmutation. Now, when I'm sharing these examples, I want you all to try to think of ways that this can relate to whatever you're doing, whatever business you're in, whatever goal that you have. Remember, come to the call with a goal in mind. The reason why I say have a goal in mind is because whatever's on your mind is the goal for the information. Write that down. Whatever's on my mind is the goal for the information. So when I get information that comes in, whatever's on my mind is where the information is going to work towards. Are you all getting this? This is why when I get around my mentors, I have a list of goals. I have my goal card. I have my goal card on me at all times. So if you're wanting to become a more successful entrepreneur, I want you to think about how transmutation plays a role in your life. So transmutation, trans means to change. All right. So energy is constantly changing form. That's what transmutation means. All right. That's the first law of the universe. I'll give you an example. If any of you ever had water, and maybe you sit the cup of water outside, or maybe let's give you a better example. Maybe you take an ice cube out of the freezer. When an ice cube is in the freezer, it's considered to be ice. Whatever name we give something is we're just giving the name to the level of vibration or energy level that it's resonant with. This makes sense. And I'll get into the second law, which is law of vibration. These two are very similar. So in a freezer, water is considered to be ice when it's in the freezer. Then if I take that ice cube out of the freezer and I put it on the counter, what starts happening to the ice? The ice starts to melt and it turns into this thing called water, meaning that the energy is constantly changing. And if I leave that water on this counter overnight, it's all of a sudden, if you leave an ice cube out on the counter outside, what happens to the water? It vaporizes. It turns into this thing that we call vapor or steam or mist. Then the mist forms into these things that we call clouds. When the clouds get enough liquid together, then they produce this thing called rain. When rain goes in the freezer or water goes in the freezer, we call that ice. It's the same energy, just changes form. Same energy, changes form. This is why they always say you already have everything you need to succeed. You just need to learn how to use it. If you're looking for something on the outside to build something that you already have on the inside, you'll never find it. You already have everything you need. You just need to learn how to turn it into the right form. If this is making sense, just put make sense in the chat. Just talk back to me in the chat if you are getting this. Law of transmutation, meaning energy is constantly changing form. Nothing will ever stay the same. Thomas, you getting it? Joseph, you getting it? Awesome. Peter, you getting it? Law of vibration. Shout out to Peter. Peter's out there killing it. We spoke yesterday. Law of vibration. Vibration means energy is constantly moving. So transmutation means energy is changing form. Vibration means energy is constantly in a state of motion. Nothing will ever stand still. Nothing is ever in the same spot. It is always changing. Law of vibration. Now, I know Natasha said, all right, one of the universal laws is the law of attraction. How many of you know about a law of attraction? I'm going to break this down and you all take notes. Law of attraction is secondary to vibration. Law of attraction is not even one of the main laws. Now, I know there's books written on it. I know that there's movies built upon the law of attraction. Everybody and their mother is coming out with the law of attraction book. Everybody and their mother is a law of attraction coach. How many of y'all know the Instagram John Doe under that law of attraction coach? Starry eyes. The Instagram title, right? You know what I'm talking about. If it's you, just turn your camera off and now I'm just playing. We know that, right? Everybody's a law of attraction coach. Now, nothing's wrong with the law of attraction, but are we going to and I'm gonna get into this in a second, because one of the universal laws is cause and effect. And I talked to Ray the other day. I said, Ray, instead of us focusing on the effect, we need to focus on the cause. So what are we focusing on? The cause or the effect? If you want to change something, do you focus on the effect of it, or do you focus on the cause of it? If you want to get healthier, do you focus on the effect, or do you focus on the cause? Do you treat the dis-ease, or do you treat what caused it? Makes sense. So law of attraction is a secondary law. All law of attraction means is this: whatever vibration you are in is what you're going to bring towards you. Whatever energy level you are vibrating at is what you are going to bring towards you. Manifestation. I know when we get in personal growth, Ray, you hear talk about manifestation. What does manifesting mean? Manifesting means nothing more than bringing a portion of experience into your existence. So how did I do that? First off, I need to make sure that I'm on the frequency. I need to make sure if I'm in business, if I want to attract more like-minded people, first off, what is my mind? Where's my mindset? If I want to attract a certain person, who am I? Am I that person? That's why what I always tell people is stop looking for certain people, start being a certain person. Stop looking for certain people, start becoming a certain person. Law of vibration. So if you all want to vibrate at a higher frequency, this is what you do. All right. Things to do. Getting it? You should all write out a list of qualities of the person that you want to attract. Write out the list of qualities of the people that you want to be around. Chris, write out the list of qualities all the way down to the T, Ian. Maybe it's the way that they walk. Do they walk fast or do they walk slow? I'll be very honest with you. People that ain't got nothing to do walk very slow and their pockets are very low. So maybe you need to speed up your walk. Wealthy people walk fast because they got somewhere to go. Peter, am I wrong? I think I'm pretty right. So write down the qualities of the person, people you would like to be around. Are they always smiling? Are they always in a high vibration? Are they in shape? Do they look good? Do they feel good? Are they eating junk food, or are they eating food that's good for your body? What type of people do you want to be around? Write down the list. This is how you get on the frequency or the vibratorial rate of the person you want to become. Write down all the qualities of the people you want to attract. And then all you have to do is ask yourself, am I embodying these qualities? Do I possess this? Am I this? Is this something that I'm doing on a daily basis? I want to attract people that are in better shape. Well, am I in the gym? I want to attract people that are better at sales. Well, am I selling? I want to build a team of people that are always on a high vibration and always excited. Well, am I always excited? Because that's what you're going to bring into your life. So don't look at the people, look at you. Whoever you bring into your life, I need you all to get this. Whatever happens to you is because of what you brought to you. Now, for someone that is a victim, that's hard to accept. So listen, when I'm teaching this information, you cannot be a victim. Edgar, you cannot possess a victim mentality. When you understand how the laws of the universe work, then the laws of the universe are because of what you send out into the universe. The energy you send out. So law of vibration. Are you all getting this? Number 3, cause and effect. Cause and effect means this. For every result, there was a reason why it started. For everything that happened, for every action, there's a reaction. For everything you put out, there's something that comes back. Cause and effect. Remember what I just shared about focusing on the cause versus the effect. Wherever there's a cause, there's an effect. Does it make sense? This is what we call the law of laws. All right, I kind of explained this. Number 4. Am I going too fast for you all? No, we good? Number 4, law of polarity. Once I get done writing these laws down, I'll take some questions on them. Law of polarity. Law of polarity. I remember in 2018, this was the law that changed my life. Ray, I think I showed you all in the last call. In 2018, my checks were looking like $37 a week, $88 a week, $92.50 a week. I was not earning a lot of money in the beginning of 2018, 2017. I opened the book called Working with the Laws, and this is what I do. Whenever I get on these calls, I do not try to master everything the person is saying. It's very hard to do that the first time you hear it. So what I do, Ian, is this. I try to take one thing and I try to work on that one thing for the next 90 days. So when I was reading the book, Working with the Laws, and matter of fact, what I used to do, and this is very good for you all to do, is I used to write out the 7 laws and their definitions every single day for about 90 days. I still have the notebooks. I think I showed somebody the other day my notebooks that it was Rob. Rob, I showed you my affirmation notebooks where I would write out my goal 50 times a day. I did that every single day, 50 times a day. But I also have notebooks where I would write out different passages. I would write out big money. Remember on last week's call, I showed you all the big money. I wrote that out every single day for 30 days. I would write out the science of getting rich. One of the main pages in the science of getting rich, because I wanted to reprogram my subconscious mind. And then I would write out the laws of the universe because I wanted to understand the laws of the universe. And in 2017, 2018, I was not earning a lot of income. I was in a very low position. How many of you all feel like you're kind of low where you need to be right now? I was probably in that position. Matter of fact, I was probably lower than all of you. I don't know who's making $90 a week here. Full time, $90 a week, that ain't a good look. 2017, I told you all, it took me 2 to 3 years to get any type of traction. But then I read the book, Working with the Laws. I started to write out the universal laws every day. And I said, which one can I focus on now? And the one that I focused on was the law of polarity. Now, is this saying law of polarity is bigger than any other law? It's not the case. But at that point in time, this meant the most to me because I understood very clearly what polarity meant. This is what polarity means. If there's 10 feet from the ceiling to the floor, there's 10 feet from the floor to the ceiling, Joseph. This is what polarity means. You can never put out good and not get it back. This is what polarity means. You can never sow without reaping. It's very similar to cause and effect, but polarity represents there's opposites to everything. So Ian, in 2017, why was this the biggest law for me? Why did this have the biggest impact on my life? Rob, why was this the law that transformed everything for me? Edgar, why is this the law that can transform everything for you? Maybe, listen, I just want you to put me in the chat. If right now, and just be honest with me, before you put me in the chat, I want you to be extremely honest. All right? Law of polarity will be your law if you are one thing. If you are a massive action taker. If you're a massive action taker, just put me in the chat. If you're a massive action taker, if you're somebody that throws the seeds, I want you to understand, for every one crop a farmer gets, they throw 1,000 seeds. Have you guys ever seen people that farm? Peter, you fly pilots and you kind of spray the crops. Do you understand how many seeds farmers throw out into the fields just to get one seed to go into the ground? The reason why this law is the biggest for the massive action takers is because if you are a massive action taker, then you're somebody that's putting out a lot of work without seeing many results. You're someone that's throwing a lot of seeds and not reaping a big harvest yet. So in 2017, 2018, I was that person. I was doing the work. I was doing the sales calls, doing the work, doing the sales calls, doing the work, doing the sales calls, but I was not seeing results. I was getting $37.50 a week. I was getting $88 a week. I was getting $90 a week. I may have $200 in a great week. I regularly had 0 checks come in. If I show you all my list of checks, they probably skip weeks. You want to know why? Because there was probably a week where I didn't get paid. I heard a beautiful quote by Ice Cube. Anybody know Ice Cube? Anybody was singing the song this morning? Today is a good day. I sang that song. Right? Maybe we should play that on the music intro. Today's a good day. I saw this clip. It was like a little reel or something on Instagram. Ice Cube said something beautiful. Now, do I fully agree with this concept? Hell yeah. Because this concept speaks volumes to anyone that's ever done anything massive, especially with the law of polarity. He said, if you're not willing to put in 5 years without getting paid from something, then you probably shouldn't do it. If you're not willing to give something 5 years of your energy, your effort, your time, your commitment without seeing any rewards from it, then you probably shouldn't do it. Now, is that saying you give 5 years without getting a check? No, I'm not saying that. I got my first check, but it wasn't a lot. What I'm talking about rewards are abundance, surplus, above what you've put in, meaning called profits. Welcome to the call, Karen. And listen, if you're brand new, if this is your first time on the call, welcome to the call. Very high energy. Get prepared. But for individuals that are massive action takers, what you're doing right now with the law of polarity is you got to understand that in the beginning of building anything, this is what I learned about the law of polarity, especially in business. This is what to me it represents in business. In the beginning of anything, you're going to get paid 10% for 90% of the efforts. This is your pay. This is your effort. In 2017, I thank God I started to find the universal laws, because when I was putting in the work and not seeing any results, I thought something was wrong. How many of you think things are wrong when you're doing the work, but you're not getting the results? Most people think that's wrong. And you want to know why? Jobs. The system. The system taught you, hey, for every 1 hour you put in, you get $10. So because we're programmed, remember, I had 18 years of this programming. I wasn't programmed with the laws, I was programmed with the system. And the system goes against the laws. Don't believe me? Go to your doctor. If you hurt your arm, they say, here's medication. You know why? Because they treat the effect. They don't even know the cause. If you go to earn income, I guarantee you, if you go to the average person and say, how do you earn more money? They're going to say, work more hours. Well, that's completely backwards. I probably made more money in my sleep than most people do in a month. If you want to earn more income, there's a universal law called the law of compensation, which that should be on here, which I didn't put on here, but I'll tell you it anyways. Anybody ready? If you're ready for the law of compensation, just put ready in the chat. Some of you have heard it before. Joseph, the law of compensation states this: if you want to earn more income, and notice I said earn, not make. There's a big difference between making money, trading time for money, and working for money. If you make money, meaning you make dollars or you make crypto, you're probably on your way to jail. All right. So stay away from that, Ian. Don't go out there trying to print off your own money. It won't work. If you trade time for money, that means you're giving up your hours for dollars. That's not earning money. Earning money means you earn from providing a service. And based upon how much you earn is the quality and the need of your service. So the law of compensation states the amount of money you earn is based upon three things. Number one, the need for what you do. Someone type this in the chat just so people can get it. Number one, the need for what you do. Law of compensation. This wasn't on here, but I'm going to talk about it anyways. Number one, Rob, the need for what you do. And this is a question you got to ask yourself. After you figure out what is the law and what is necessary, then you got to ask yourself these questions. The need for what we do. Then you got to ask yourself, is there a strong need for what I do? Number two, your ability to do it. Your ability to do it is nothing more than how good are you? How good are you? Are you good? Listen, I'm just going to be very honest with you. Most people, when they start businesses, they are not good. They're not good. Now, they don't want to hear that. They don't want you to tell them that. Matter of fact, if you tell people that, they probably lock you up now. We're so sensitive in our world. I remember back in the day, you used to get, this is kind of a side note, all right? But I remember back in the day, we would get whoopings, right? Anybody got a whooping? Nowadays, if you whoop a kid, they take you to jail. We became so sensitive. We became so touchy. Oh, don't say that, they'll cancel you. Oh, don't tell the truth, comfort us with lies. We rather be lied to and comfortable than be changed than real. That's the world we live in. But I'm here to tell you the real because I don't care about emotions right now. I care about you changing. When you first start a business, I need you all to understand this. When you get into entrepreneurship, entrepreneurship pays you for the lifestyle you currently live. It pays you for the lifestyle you currently live. Austin, the income you earn right now is, as an entrepreneur, is equal and obvious to the lifestyle you lived before you were an entrepreneur. Now, what do I mean by that? I'll give you all an example. If I ask you a question, let's say you're working a job and I ask you a question, how much do you earn? Most people would say 40,000 a year, 35,000 a year, 55, 60,000 a year. But what they hear versus what I ask are two different things. When I say, what do you earn? They think of a job. Oh, I earn 60,000 a year. No. That's how much you work for. I remember there's a quote, I heard this in like 2017 by Grant Cardone. Absolute monster. Peter just got back, and his wife Stephanie just got back from a couples retreat with Grant Cardone. He's a beast, billionaire. He said, I don't judge your income based upon how much money you have. I judge your wealth based upon how much money you would earn tomorrow if you did nothing. Maybe write that down. Those that want to become financially free. If you're already financially free, then this isn't for you. If you're financially free, just put me in the chat and I want to learn from you. He said, I don't judge your wealth based on how much money you have or how much money you get from your job. I judge your wealth based on how much income you would earn tomorrow if you did nothing. And when you ask somebody, hey, listen, how much income outside of your job have you earned in the last 24 to 48 hours? Then most answers would be very, very close to zero. So when people become entrepreneurs, they don't understand that you need the habit of earning income. So in the beginning, when I found this information in 2017, especially the laws, I was getting paid 10% for 9% of the efforts. I was making $100 a week, $200 a week, because that's how much I would make selling candy. I didn't understand the law of polarity. Did I finish the law of compensation? the need for what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty there is in replacing you. That's the law of compensation. But when I first started to study this information and learn about the law of polarity, I didn't understand that the money I was earning was equal and obvious to the habits I currently possessed. So I was only getting paid 10% for 9% of the efforts. But here's where it gets interesting. When I learned about the law of polarity, it says, listen, you can never put out good into the universe and it doesn't come back. If there's 10 feet from the floor to the ceiling, that means there's 10 feet from the ceiling to the floor. If it's 5 hours from London to Leeds, then it's 5 hours from Leeds to London. It won't change. Only the direction and the influence. So what does that mean? So when I understood the law of polarity, I said, okay, so all the seeds I'm throwing out into the universe aren't just going somewhere, they will come back. So then I became excited to plant seeds. Then I threw more seeds, then I threw more seeds, then I threw more seeds, then I threw more seeds. I went from earning no income every single day to now there's a day that doesn't go by where I don't earn income in my sleep. Disclaimer, but I'm kind of claiming it. Because all the seeds I threw. I want you all to write this quote down. This goes to polarity for my entrepreneurs, the massive action takers, the ones that aren't seeing results but want to see results. I heard this quote. It changed everything for me. It goes like this. You will always reap what you sow, but you may not always reap where you sow. You will always get back, which is the law of polarity. You will always get back what you put out, but you may not get it back from where you put it. If you're in sales, if you're calling a bunch of people, listen, you'll always get back what you put out, but it may not be the person that you talk to that's going to buy from you. When I understood the law of polarity, that's when the game changed. You want to know why? Because I was no longer worried about the results. I was only worried about my output. I wasn't throwing the seed and staring at the ground. I kept throwing seeds, kept throwing seeds. I wasn't throwing the seed wondering when it's going to grow. I kept throwing seeds. I kept throwing seeds. I kept throwing seeds. I kept throwing seeds. And now seeds grow every single day. Now people reach out to me every single day because I understood the law of polarity. All right. Number 5, law of relativity. All right. Ooh, wrong color. Law of relativity. The law of relativity states this, or let me give you a quote that explains what it is. Don't take your big problems to God, take your big God to your problems. Did you all get that? This is making sense, Abby. Don't take your big problems to God, take your big God to your problems. Law of relativity states nothing is big, nothing is small until we compare it. What's big to you is small to someone else. What's small to you is big to someone else. It doesn't make it better. It doesn't make it worse. It just is what it is. And actually, the very first capital law of the universe is God is. Energy is. It is what it is. Law of relativity. All right. I want you all to watch this. Okay. Now, I want you all to watch this. Let's say this is building A. Is building A big or small? Think. I need you all to think. As entrepreneurs, this is entrepreneurship. If you're in a business, you are A. Is entrepreneurship big or small? Okay, now let me ask you this. Or is A big or small? Now, is A big or small compared to B? Before, A was just, it is. But now that I'm comparing it to something, A just became big and B is now small. because I'm relating it to something. So A is big and B is small only because there's something to relate it to. Now, let me ask you another question. This is C. Is A big now or is A smaller compared to C? Do you see where we're going with this? This is why, okay, I spoke to Megan yesterday, had an amazing conversation. Megan said, Jason, you know, you said something that really shocked me the other day or really helped me the other day. She said, you remember when you were on the call and you said, or this is something that she said changed for her, because on one of the calls, I said, when is something considered to be rare? When there's not a lot of people that have it, right? That's when something's rare. And I remember when I do business and I talk to so many people, especially when you're dealing with the masses of people, you'll run into the masses challenges, right? And the challenges that the masses have are poor relationships, they're working jobs, they don't have any money, and they're struggling, right? And typically, I talk to a lot of people that are struggling financially. And you know the funny thing about people that are struggling financially? Everyone that's struggling financially thinks they're the only person that's struggling financially. Every person that's struggling financially, that's the biggest thing to them is their struggle financially. And I was talking with Megan, I did the call the other day. I said, listen, when things are considered rare, that means there's limited supply. That means there's not as much of it. That means it's very valuable because you can't get access to it that easily. Well, if everybody's struggling financially, why is that rare? You know how you react when something's rare? Oh my God, wow. You know how you react when something's not rare? Oh, just another one of those. Do you know when I changed how I relate my life to financial struggle? That's when I stopped struggling financially. Do you know when you stop thinking that the struggle financially is big, then you stop struggling financially? Do you know when you stop thinking that your problems are important, you actually dissolve your problems? You guys get this? Is Oh wait, you see why I said I'll charge you 10,000 for this? Because you wouldn't get it when I first said it. You'll have to rewatch this video at least 20 times to understand it. This is why when people come to me with their problems, hold on. When people come to me with the problems, I want you all to get this. When people come to me with the problem, this A is the problem. When people come to me with their problems and they expect a reaction, listen, don't take your problems to a thinking person unless you want a solution. When people come to me with the problems and challenges, I never see it as a problem. Here's an example. When I build a business, if you're in sales and people say, I don't have money, have you guys ever been in a position where you're selling something and someone says they don't have the money? Just put me in the chat. Yeah, Ryan's like, yeah, all the time. You know what shifted it for me? Joseph, this is what changed it for me. Instead of me saying, wow, man, you don't have money, I feel so bad for you. Then I start to say this. When people came to me and I had a business where they didn't have the money to start, I didn't agree with their paradigm and say, yeah, you're right, you don't have the money. If someone, here's my perception when I use the law of relativity. If someone doesn't have the money, that's exactly why you need to be in. Man, I can't afford the event. If you can't afford the event, that's exactly why I need to go. If you're going to use the law of relativity, use it to your advantage. Hey, Jason, I can't be on the call because I don't have any time. Well, if you don't have your own time, then that's why you need to be on the call. Hey, Jason, I can't make the call because I got kids. Well, if you're going to use your kids as an excuse, that's exactly why you need to be here. I thought your kids were your reason, not your excuse. You can't have both. Mm. Never take your problems to a thinking person unless you want a solution. This is why people like to talk to me, but they kind of dread getting on the phone with me if they got a real problem. Because I always find a solution. Rob didn't have any money. Hell, he just bought an $800 flight to London with no money. You want to know why? I find solutions. Never come to me with a problem unless you want a solution. Don't take your big problem to God. Take your big God to your problem. Are you all getting this? Is this call valuable for you all so far? Like, just please let me know. Are you really getting this? Are you really getting? Listen, when you understand the law of relativity, this is what you do, Destiny. You always find a way how you can. Reese, when you understand the law of relativity, then there's never an excuse why you can't. Edgar, when you understand the law of relativity, then you'll always find a reason why you can, not why you can't. All right, let me move on to the next law. Next law. Let me see what's on my list. Maybe we should stop right there and now do a part two. All right, let's see. Nah, let me just finish. After the law of relativity. All right, we're on number 6. Law of rhythm. If you want to be successful in life and business, you need to understand rhythm. Christina, understand rhythm. Understand when things are in the I forget how you say it, a rhythmic motion. You have to understand the law of rhythm. All right. When you understand the law of rhythm, I need you all to understand. I need you all to get this. Successful businesses know your biorhythm. What months are more credit cards activated than any other months? What months? What 2 months are more credit cards activated than any other month? Really from the end of September to the beginning of November. You want to know why? Because companies know your biorhythm. They know you get into the holiday season. It's called season. It's called seasons. They know when to put things on sale. Black Friday. Why is Black Friday right after Thanksgiving? Do you got wait? Anybody ever went shopping on Black Friday? Do you understand this? Why is the biggest sale day in the world right after Thanksgiving and right before Christmas? Because companies understand your rhythm. They understand when you're high, they understand when you're low. They understand what to do when you're high, they understand what to do when you're low. Here's my question to you. When you're on the rhythmic high, do you understand what to do? And when you're on the rhythmic low, do you understand what to do? There's a quote I heard that said, a smart person knows what to say, a wise person knows when to say it. Joseph, a smart person knows what to say. Let's say you have a friend that's in an argument and you know what to say. Is that the right time to say it? Probably not if you're working with a hothead. When you understand the law of rhythm, you understand that there's a time and a place when things should take place. When you understand the law of rhythm, you understand that it's not always going to be the same season. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, there's going to be ups, there's going to be downs. Now, from a natural human standpoint, women go through a monthly or weekly rhythm every single month. Well, men, don't think you're out of the cycle. You have your seasons as well. You have a chemical design in your body to where there's a certain week out of the month where you're chemically high and you're chemically low. Do you understand what to do when you're high? Do you understand what to do when you're low? I'll give you an example. When I was working with Bob Proctor, he said, son, when you feel sad, sell something. I said, what? He said, when you feel down, sell something. Like, what are you talking about? And if you know Bob Proctor, he was the sales god. He said, this is why. He says, if you're on a high vibration, you feel like selling something, don't you? I say, yeah. He said, if you're on a low vibration, what do you feel like doing? Nothing. He says, so what you have to learn is what to do when you're high and what to do when you're low. He says, imagine if you can do something that you only do on a high frequency when you're on a low frequency, then what do you think your high frequencies will become? Do you understand your rhythm? There are seasons to life. After winter, there's what? Spring. Has winter ever came after winter? After spring, there's what? Summer. After summer, there's fall. After fall, there's winter. There's a rhythm to the seasons. That means you're going to be high some days and you're going to be low some days. Once I understand, Natasha, that I'm not always going to feel an automatic high, then I understand what to do when I'm not automatically high. Are you getting this? I think I just lost y'all with rhythm. This is very deep. I'm telling you all, you're not going to get all this in a day, but it's understanding rhythms. Okay. I'll give you an example. As an entrepreneur and a leader, I know when to call certain people. I know when to call people. I know when to say certain things to people. I know when not to talk to people. If I'm working with somebody and they're extremely emotional, then I will wait to speak with them. I'll give them 2 to 3 days after they text me that they need to speak. Once they have an emotional flare, I'll give them 2 to 3 days to talk with them because I know they need 2 to 3 days to get those emotions out. Just making sense, Ryan. Seriously, listen. If you all text me saying, "Hey, Jason, you got a second to talk?" Yeah, I can talk to you right then and there. But you know why I wait to respond to some people or you, or I give you a couple of days outwards of when I'm set to talk to you, is because I understand your emotional rhythm. If I give you what I'm going to give you and you're on an emotional high right now with the situation, you won't accept it as you would if you're on emotional low. Some of you are trying to sell product. Some of you are trying to just sell, and not study people. Study people. Study energy. Study rhythm. Do they put a Christmas tree out in summer? Hey, we got Christmas trees on. Well, they probably do to prepare. But do you ever see in the beginning of May that they just got brand new Christmas trees out for sale? No. They know your rhythm. They know your rhythm. I need you all to study this. When you go to the grocery store, let me ask you all a question. When you go to the grocery store, you guys know the seasonal aisles in grocery stores where that aisle is just the one they always change out with the like the seasonal stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? The seasonal aisle in the store. All right. When you go to the grocery store right now, what do you see in the seasonal aisle? What do you see? What's coming up? Halloween. You'll see a bunch of pumpkins and scary people, candies, candy corn, candy pumpkins and sugary and do you see Easter bunny? Do you see the Easter bunny bouncing around in the seasonal section right now? Or do you see a ghost? And then once Halloween's over, what are you going to see in the seasonal section? Leaves, fall leaves, Thanksgiving napkins, give thanks. Do you know most people's point of gratitude is during November? The only time they have gratitude. Why? Because their rhythm. Telling you all, isn't this like obvious? but we don't think. Remember, there's two things you have to learn, Reese. If you get this, Reese, you'll be a beast. Asif, two things. You got to learn, number one, Ray, you got to learn how to think. You understanding the laws is how to think. Then you need to learn what to think. Okay, I understand the law of rhythm. This is how I think with the law of rhythm. Now, what do I need to think in my business? Let me ask you all this. Just put me in the chat if you don't go to church. It ain't bad, so I ain't gonna tell on you. I don't go to church. Put me in the chat. Now, I'm not now based upon religious beliefs. Everybody's church is different. Okay, that doesn't mean you don't get what's the word I like to say? You don't get a sermon. All right. Now, I don't physically go to church. That's just me. I haven't done it since I got in personal growth, just because the way I was brought up, my beliefs slightly shifted. But there's a lot of people that I know that may have never even been inside of church because of their own separate belief. But let me ask you all a question. How many none of y'all don't go to church? How many of y'all just lied in the chat? Let me see. Some of y'all stay right there on your couch, all right? And you watch church. Some of y'all don't go to church. All right, listen, this is not bad. It's not negative, all right? And again, the reason why this is not negative is because of the law of relativity. If you think somebody's bad because they don't go to church, what are you? If you're so stuck on one belief, we got to wake up. Law of relativity. What makes your belief bigger than someone else's? That's it. There's no different than you having a job and saying my job's better than yours. If you were born in the middle of China, you think you'd be a Christian? If you were born in the middle of India, do you think you'll be Catholic? If you was born in the middle of the hood, you would be Black Baptist right now. You probably wouldn't be Muslim. Relativity. Listen, I told you all, I don't care about your emotions. No, doesn't matter to me. I care about you waking up. I was speaking with my guy today, Ron, and we were talking about the same topic, and he said, "Hey, man, and you know how people are hesitant when they're saying things because they want to be respectful." I said, "I get it." He said, I'm not really a religious person, da da da. I don't really know what to call it. I said, I know what to call it. You're awake. You're awake. Buddha never called himself, I'm Buddhist. His followers did. Jesus never said, I'm a Christian. Go read the Bible. Stop hearing the Bible from someone else. Read the Bible. It's called the Biblia, the collection of books. Did Jesus ever say, I'm a Christian? Or did his followers title it that? Hmm. Law of relativity. We got to learn how to think. I don't know how I got on that. But anyways, how did I get on that? I was going to say something important. I think everything I said was important. But you all get what I'm saying. When it comes to rhythm, you got to understand, see, this is what I was going with rhythm. All right. Let's say you haven't been to church or never been to church. What day is church, though? Typically, what day is it on? Even if you haven't been in a while, what day is it? Sundays. Around what time does it start? 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Now, this is where I'm getting at. When you do I talked to Ron today. I said, Ron, what you want to develop is you want to develop a rhythm with your calls. I said, this is why. When you have a rhythm, you can succeed in business. When you have a rhythm, you can succeed in life. When you have a rhythm, you can succeed in relationships. You got to develop what's called a rhythm. I said, even though we don't go to church every single Sunday, or some people don't go at all, even the people that never been to church, they still know what day it is. They still know what time it starts. You want to know why? Because it's been doing that for 2,000 years. Sunday at 9 a.m., they'll get on top of the rock or the mountain. Sunday at 9 a.m. for 2,000 years. You know what that's called? It's called a rhythm. You know what happens when you create a rhythm? You create expectations. You know what happens when you create expectations? You create order. Do you know what heaven's first law is? Heaven's first law is order. Because if you're not in order, you're in chaos. You're not in order, you're in chaos. There's a story about a guy who was a gardener, and his friend walked by his garden. He said, Man, you got a beautiful garden, man. Look at what God gave you. And the friend laughed. He said, Yeah, man, God gave me the garden, but you should have seen what it looked like when he had it all to himself. Did y'all get that? You got to put things in order. Order is heaven's first law. So you got to create a rhythm. Rhythm creates expectation. Expectation creates clarity and order. Order creates growth. If your room's dirty and you see that room, you probably don't feel like doing anything, do you? Anybody ever just walked in your house and the house is dirty and you're all in your whole day's room? Because it's not in order. You have to get order. Last law. And I'm going to end this off in a second. This one's huge. Gender and gestation. Law of gender and gestation. Do you all understand what the law of gender and gestation means? Here's what, and now these are you can separate them and call them two different laws. Let's talk about the law of gender, all right? Law of gender means there's a male and female side to everything. There's masculine and there's feminine. Law of gender represents that you cannot have one without having both sides. You have to learn how to work with the laws. Now, I don't really care what people do. Whatever you do is up to you. But this is why if there's a man with a man and a woman with a woman, it does not create another human. You're actually going against the laws. Again, I don't judge. I don't care what you do. I don't care who you sleep with. I don't care what you do. But I'm giving you the laws of the universe. This is why a man cannot be with a man and create a baby, and a woman cannot be with a woman and create a baby. Because there has to be two opposite genders to do what's called creation. And if we're working with the creator and our role is to create, and we're not in a position to create because we don't have masculine and feminine, that means we're actually in what's called sin. S-I-N. Sin doesn't mean cussing at somebody. Sin means going against the law. Study these books. Stop looking at it from a religious book where you eat a piece of bread and you drink grape juice because you want to repent. Study this. Sin means transgression of the law. It means to miss the mark, meaning you're not in alignment with the laws of the universe. Righteousness means become the mark, meaning getting in alignment. Law of gender. Male lions don't sleep with male lions. There's a female lion. Law of gender. Listen, okay, I'll give you all a study. Here's a little study for you all when it comes to law of gender. There's a reason why a lot of trees, if any of you are into nature, cities, do you know which gender of a tree the cities plant? The female gender. You want to know why? Because if they plant the male gender, the male creates what's called pollen. Male trees create pollen, which fertilize the female trees. So cities only put female trees because they don't want to have to clean up the pollen, but that's why there's freaking pollution. Hey, I mean, look this up. Don't just take my word. Male trees create pollen to pollinate the female trees. That's what do you think pollen's for? The bees? No, pollen is for a male tree to send his seed to the female tree to create more trees, to create what's called seeds. So if you don't have a male tree and a female tree, and this is why they actually don't put female trees in the cities, it's because female trees produce what's called fruit. And if a bunch of fruit's falling on the ground, they got to clean it up. So y'all got to study this. If you have a city that has excess pollen, that means there's more male trees. More male trees, meaning you got a lot of pollen, but no fruit. If you got a city that has a lot of, and you can't even have this, you only have cities that have a lot of fruit trees without a male tree, because there cannot be produced if it's not a male involved. Male is nothing more than the conscious, female is the subconscious. Remember, the conscious mind creates ideas and it impregnates the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is open. It cannot accept or reject ideas. It just has to accept it. Female, male, law of gender. Is this making sense? Are you all getting this? In business, you want men business partners, you want women assistants. Even women. If you're a dominant woman and you're building a business, find you a woman who's an assistant, find you a male who's a builder. There's two attributes you need. Women are more, their brains are more organized than men. They're able to handle those tasks that men cannot handle. I don't like doing the small little tinky tasks. I like doing the like that. Listen, tell you all, trust me. Trust me. And if you're going to hire a male assistant, make sure his feminine side is more dominant in that area than his masculine side. Because if you have a male assistant and you're a male and both of you are masculine, you're going to butt heads like crazy. Seriously. Do you guys get this? Guys and gals. You get this? This is what your company knows about you. If you're working a job, your company knows this about you, your human behavior. This is why women are at the front desk at the doctor's office. Come to me and I'm at the front desk and you say, man, my arm hurt. I'm like, what the hell did you do to make your arm hurt? Don't put me at the front desk, because I'm be like, man, my arm hurt. I'm looking at you like, man, you don't need a doctor, dude. Go get you some Tylenol. You be all right. Next. Women have more of a nurturing side, right? So I'm not going to put a male at the front desk. I'm going to put at the doctor's office. I'm going to put a woman at the front desk because she's more nurturing and caring. Men, you'll be all right. Put some spit on it. Are you all getting this? This may sound funny, but it's business. It's life. This is how you're going to build a business. Then you got gestation. Listen, there's actually two laws that changed my game. The laws were law of polarity and the law of gestation. Law of polarity means there's opposites to everything. Law of gestation means there's a time between when you plant the seed and when that seed grows. This is called the gestation period. This time between when you plant the seed and the seed grows, this is called the gestation period. This period means you will not see any fruits. You will not see the results. You will plant the seeds, and then the gestation period, this is what it means. Gestation means the things that are happening underneath the soil and listen, just because you don't see something happening does not mean something isn't taking place. When do you see the baby? Once it's born. Women, if you take that test and it says I'm pregnant, do you wait 9 months to start planning? Or as soon as you see the test results, you're like, you cry, and call your mama, call your sister, whatever it is, and you know, spill all the news before the man can even get it out. Get on social media, I'm pregnant, right? You do all that stuff, but then after you do all that stuff, you start making what plans? You start doing what's called nesting, women. You know what nesting is, right? Where you start preparing the space for the baby. Even before you see evidence, you can't even see your little bump yet, but you start preparing the space for the baby. You start preparing the space for the baby because you know after that planting of the seed, it takes 9 months for that baby to grow. But here's the problem with goals. We know that things will happen because we see evidence of us around us, but we just don't know when it's going to happen for this specific seed. That's why you need understanding. You see why these two laws were powerful for me? I knew I was going to be rich. Ain't no window. I knew I was going to change lives. I didn't know who. I knew it. I just didn't know how. There's a time between you plant the seed and the seed grows. That's called the gestation period. If you work with the laws, you have to work with the structure. If you're planting a seed, you don't put the seed in the ground, Ian, sit there and wait, then dig it up to see if you even planted the seed in the first place. You plant the seed, and because you understand the law of the seed, you understand your responsibilities and you also understand God's responsibilities. Stop trying to do God's job, you do your job. When you plant a seed, you know what your job is? To make sure nothing steps on it and to make sure it's got water and sunlight. Make sure it's protected, make sure it's watered, make sure it's sunlight. You know God's job, everything else underneath the surface that you can't see. Stop trying to do the other part. Focus on your part. Ray, what do I always tell you? Keep me in my gift. I don't want to do what I'm not built to do. Keep me in my gift. What's your gift? What's your gift? What are you naturally good at that produces something positive for others? What is that gift? Are you up here laying bricks when you meant to be on stage? Now, I'm not saying you don't have to go through a process, but I'm saying, do you understand what you're meant to do? Do you know your gift? Listen, when you know your gift, then around the gestation period, you can build what's called a supporting cast. I'm not the technology guy. I don't want to be that guy. That's why I have Ray. Ray's brain works, his brain is a research and development computer. He'll research, I don't know how the hell he does it. I'll be thinking something, hey man, I just found this. I'm like, how does he know what I was thinking about researching? He just researched. I don't know. I don't know. Have no clue. Natasha is naturally an organizer and a nurturer. I am not a nurturer. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna Ian. Now, Natasha don't do that, but you get what I'm saying. Ian, you come to me with your problems, bro. You better be ready for a solution. I am not a nurturer. That is not my personality. Uh-uh. No. This is where I have to be cautious with having a daughter. You see what I'm saying? You gotta understand gender. If my daughter falls and hit the ground, I'm like, all right, get up, let's go. Then I gotta stop. No, no, no. You all right? So I gotta understand. Study yourself. I know me. Do you know why you're not where you want to be? Because you don't know you. Do you know why you're not earning more income? Because you don't even know you. You don't understand you. How are you going to grow something you don't understand? Do you know who you are? Do you know your qualities? Do you know your strengths? Do you know your weaknesses? Do you know what you're good at? Do you know what you're not good at? Michael Jordan, best quote: don't strengthen your weaknesses, strengthen your strengths. He didn't play defense. They didn't pay him $1 billion to play defense. They paid him $1 billion to hit game winning shots. So, what do you think he practiced? Study athlete contracts. In athlete contracts, they literally have contracts. If you don't rebound a certain amount, if you don't hit this assist, then we penalize you. Why? Why do they narrow down the contract to the athletes? Because that's their gift. That's their gift. You're not earning because you're not in your gift. Study your gift. You know my gift? This right here. Do you know when I figured it out? Like 2 years ago. Listen, I'll tell you why it's my gift. First off, it's something that impacts other people that I do effortlessly. I didn't have a plan for this call. This is all I had written down for this call. Hold on. Do y'all see how much this is? This is a lot, isn't it? Ooh, Jason, you put down some serious notes, brother. This is all I had written down for this call. Imagine if I was going to text you and be like, hey, I sent you a screenshot of this. I'm like, hey, listen, this is what I'm going to teach on the call. And you didn't know me. You were like, this is your proposal for the company? You would be so nervous if imagine if you paid me, you didn't even know who I was. You paid me $10,000 to do this call, and then I sent you, this is what I'm going to do the call on. Your heart would be pumping. But imagine if this was the call. You think you paid me too little. Why? I'm in my gift. It's something I do naturally, effortlessly, and it lifts up others. Not tears. Listen, if you're doing something naturally, effortlessly, and it's tearing down others, you're probably in your gift doing the wrong things. I'll be honest with you. My gift is selling. But if I was selling drugs, wrong gift. Or right gift, wrong thing I'm doing with it. Thank God for my big homies. They didn't let me do that. Thank God for them. Because if I'm telling y'all, I was quiet and I knew how to make money, you already know which route I would have went down. It was easy. But I had to stay in my gift. I have to stay in my gift. Earning money is so easy for me. It's like the easiest thing I could do. I could earn money before I get a girlfriend in high school. Like, I have some friends that couldn't earn nothing, but they had all the women in high school, or the woman had all the guys in high school, right? They in the gift. I don't know. They should have been a networker, but they were networking for the wrong reasons. Do you get this? I got some friends that, oh my God, they are the best communicators, but they communicated to get the number for the wrong reason. Do y'all get it now? This is also, I'm leading to the next point. This is also how you become a master talent scout in business. If I have somebody that a guy or a girl that's always getting somebody's number, but they're doing it for the wrong reasons, if I can transfer your energy into the right reasons, I'm going to make you a star. You got to be a good talent scout. If you're building a business, now I'm talking to the ones that really want to get wealthy. If you're building a business, what you're looking for in someone is a self-starter. If I have somebody that's doing things without me telling them to do things, but they're doing the wrong things, if I can just get you to do the right things, you'll go to the top. Why? I understand the laws. This is why when people say, man, when they join the accountability group, I want to be in this group because I don't have discipline. You're wrong. You do have discipline. You just have discipline in areas that don't serve you. Law of relativity. You guys see how I use the laws? I use the laws on all of y'all. You have no clue. I use the laws on every single one of you for your benefit, though. But you have no clue. Rob, when I got you to buy that plane ticket the other day, I just used the laws of the universe on you. I knew how you were. You're so right-brained. If I said, Rob, jump through the Zoom screen, sit right here, you'd have jumped through the Zoom screen, sit right there. Your mindset is not on how all the time as you think it is. You just need a little push. I know how to work with your brain. If Rob texts me, hey man, I ain't feeling good, I'm calling his ass immediately. I already know how to work with him. I'm, what are you doing? Rob, isn't that how I talk to you? What are you doing? This is how I talk to Rob. I can't talk to Destiny like that. If Destiny texts me, I gotta wait a little bit. I can't get on the phone with her right there. Her personality is different than Rob's. Is it good or bad? Is A bigger than B? No. It's because I understand the laws of the universe. If I don't hear from Ray for like 3 days, I already know he's sick or he lost money. I already know. I already know. So easy and obvious. He's either sick or he done lost some money in some trading. Ray's been quiet in the elite trader chat, hasn't he? You wanna know why? I know why. If you all are in our elite traders chat, then you know what I'm talking about. Ray, he's been quiet. I know his biorhythm. You got to study this stuff. You have to. I'm telling y'all, when you study this, the whole world. I didn't mean to call you out like that, Ray. I already knew. When I text you, I already knew, Ray. I said, go bitch you up too, huh? I knew I didn't hear from him. Gold said, I'm going up. And he said, I'm trying to go down. Nah. Are you getting it? Is this making sense? Listen, give me some feedback really quick. I know there's some new people on the line. Before I end this call off, listen, I may do a part 2 of the universal laws. I may do it next week. I'm going to do part 3 of Habits of the Elite. All right. So get ready for Habits of the Elite part 3. But listen, put I in the chat if you want to get some feedback. Put I in the chat. Prince, what's up, bro? Prince, you here from Dubai. What's up, man? Good to see you. Prince, you got to be in this environment, brother. You have to. Put I in the chat. All right. Who we got? Oh, okay. Ryan, go ahead.
Not only did you obviously nail
Whoa,
on,
whoa, 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 whoa. If you share, you got to state your name, where you're calling in from. You got to have your camera on.
can't have my camera on because I'm literally just sorting some stuff out. But
All right,
I'm
we'll do
from
next.
London.
Ray, you got to have your camera on. People need to see you, bro. Listen, let's imagine. I'm telling you all, work with the laws. Imagine if I was on a call like this. It'll still be powerful, but you wouldn't feel me. This is nothing against Ryan. This is a teaching moment. Because some of y'all are like this on calls if you're building a business. Listen, you haven't earned enough money to have okay. You can have your camera off when you have a photo of you on stage. You hold on, listen. You turn your camera off when there's a photo of you on stage. Turn your camera off when there's a person that texts you thank you every single day. All right. Now, this is not to Ryan. I'm telling you all, this is not to Ryan. This is to everybody. I said in the chat, how many of you all want to be entrepreneurs? I didn't ask how many people want to be employees on this call. I don't even have employees. Gabriel works for me. He don't work for me. He works with me. I pay him the lowest denomination of US dollars I could think of. He earns more money on commission than he does on salary with me. I'm not here to build followers. I'm not Henry Ford. I'm not here to build workers. I'm here to build thinkers. We got to learn how to think. And we also got to ask ourselves, remember, write down what person you want to, what people you look up to. What do they do? Then you do it. If you were following Tony Robbins and he was like this, hey guys, name's Tony. Hey, listen, today we're going to have the Unleash the Power event. Hey guys. No, he's fired up. His camera's on. Energy's good. Lighting's good. He's prepared for you to call on him. Are you prepared to be called on for your goal? Are you prepared? Listen, if your goal is to speak in front of people, maybe not, maybe it is. Are you prepared? Have you been practicing? What you do in the dark shows in the light. Are y'all getting this? Ryan, go ahead, bro. I see you. You're looking good too, man. Dude, why the hell wouldn't you want to show your face, bro?
You look so good.
You look good as hell, man. Come on, dude.
I was just sorting some stuff out.
Looking good, bro. Go ahead.
I'm from London, and the main thing that I took away from today, not only is the fact that Jason's been using literally every single one of these on me, thank you, but the fact that I can actually use these on specific people that I'm already in business with and talking to. And the fact that the relatability one, I've just been lacking on so much, but now I'm able to actually know what I'm doing. I want to be using it.
Love it. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, and you, again, use it for the right reasons, right? So when you use it on people, use it for their growth and their benefit. Amazing. Ray, go ahead.
Yes, bro. I mean, big laws and everything, what you said, great takeaways. But the biggest thing I took away today was from the law of rhythm and there being ups and being downs. And it made me realize something that, hey, look, some days we're going to feel great and we're not going to feel great. And the only thing I took away from that is knowing that it's going to happen, that there's an expectation of it's going to happen, but it should not change what I do. So I'm gonna just still keep doing what I'm doing, but it's just good to know that it's it's normal. It's normal to have days where you feel better, where your energy is higher, and having days where your energy is lower. But if you want consistent results, you need consistent action. So that goes back to like cause and effect, to all the other laws that we spoke about earlier. So yeah, love that.
Ray, that's how you get ahead in life, bro. You get ahead in life by, okay, when people feel down, they don't do much. How I get the slight edge is on those days when we both don't feel down, I just do it anyways.
Yeah, 100%. 100%, bro. Because I literally just thought about that, and I was telling myself, let me turn that into a superpower where when I am feeling down and I do it, that means that I should be getting a bigger reward. Because when I don't feel like doing it and I do it, I am overcoming something in myself, which is actually showing that I am more worthy of receiving the reward and receiving my goal. So I said, okay, look, actually, this is like it's like a pit stop where I get a change of tires, and now with those tires, I'm able to run much quicker. So maybe it's a test, maybe it's a test saying that are you still gonna do it or not. So yeah, I said actually, I should go harder now. I should, shift gears during this period and even go harder.
When you remember this, when you don't feel like doing something, it's your paradigm talking to you. It's your habit trying to pull you back to where you were. Right? If you don't feel like doing something that you know you need to do, that is nothing more than your current habit saying you're breaking free of me, come back.
Okay.
Ray, what's the quote that you learned? Commitment to what? Say it to them.
I have it right here. Commitment to continuity produces emotional stability. I have it right here
Inspirational
on my desk.
ideas.
Right there.
Commitment to continuity, meaning commitment to the work, produces emotional stability. If you're committed to the emotion, then you won't be stable. If you're committed to the work, then you will be stable through any emotion, whether you feel like it or don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing this call right now. I really don't. I didn't have a too positive a day before this call. It was like one thing after another, after another, after another. The last thing I felt like doing was speaking positivity on this call. I felt like swearing every swear word ever was created before this call, which I kind of did. But I'm committed to the content, not the emotion. Love it. Who else? Who else was next? Ian, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, thanks, Jason. Calling from Toronto. The biggest takeaway I liked from today was how you talked about the law of polarity and how you're always reaping what you sow. So even when you're not putting in the effort, putting in the work, like you're still reaping something from that, like uncertainty. And also the thing you said about doing it when you don't feel like it. I was watching this guy named Andrew Huberman, and he talks about like there's an area of the brain that increases in size when you do things you don't like doing. So I found that really interesting as it relates to the law.
Love it. That is true. That is true. I forgot my last law of the universe. Some of y'all don't know the last law. The most powerful law I've ever learned.
Show the ball, bro.
Huh? I'm not
Show
in
the
my. I'm
bottle.
not in. Yeah, I'll share it.
Biggest law.
It's in my room. There's the biggest law. This is my favorite law of the universe because it is the most important law, and it's something that you. Okay, if you've never heard this before, for the new people, have y'all ever heard the law of Goya? If you have you ever uh Prince Hakeem, have you ever heard of the law of Goya? Thomas, Christina? No. Scott, you never heard of it? Really? Okay. This is an important law. All right. I think we're in a meeting or doing a call with Bob, and he said, hey, listen, I need you all to study the law of Goya. We're like, what the hell is that? He says the most important law of the universe, if you want to succeed, if you want to win, if you want to grow, if you want to do anything of any significance, if you want to get out of your current situation, if you want to impact those around you, this is the most important law of the universe. And it is called Goya, Goya, get off your ass. That is a universal law. That's my favorite law. I'm gonna do the next call, part 2 of Goya. Get off your ass. That's what Goya means. All right. It's the most important law in the universe. If you don't do that, nothing will happen. None of these laws work until you apply that law. All right. Apply the law of Goya. Anyways, Peter, go ahead, bro.
Hey, it's Peter from Arkansas in the US. And the big one that stood out to me was law of relativity, about certain things being of certain size, we can compare them to something else. And that's something that I really saw in action this last weekend. Like if you ever want to feel like you need to do more, just get around somebody who's actually really winning, and you're gonna see that, oh man, what I'm currently doing right now is not much.
Yeah. You had the experience with Grant Cardone. Shout out to you, bro, for getting in that room. And hey, you're in the room because you attracted that and you deserve to be there. Shout out to you, Pete. I love that. Peter, here's the quote for you. I say this for you. Don't take your big problem to God, take your big God to your problem. That was for you, bro.
Yep. Bro, I already got an Instagram post for it. It's already scheduled. I swear.
You know how
14
you know
minutes.
it's good when you take it straight to the story mode, right? When you go straight to story and you as soon as you hear it, you don't even write in your notes first. You type it as a story first, right?
It's already scheduled, bro.
I love it. Good stuff. Who's the last one? Oh, Thomas, go ahead, bro. Where's Thomas at? What's it, Tom? King Tom.
Good day, guys. How you doing? So what stood out for me was I think you said it was Grant Cardone. If you're not willing to work on something for 5 years, then you may as well just park that. If you've got something that really still ignites your passion and fire, and you're willing to work for that long without maybe reaping any rewards, then you're on something good. And I think it was gestation as well. So, there's a time for things to bake in the oven and eventually they'll birth. So I'm just here with my daughter. So she's been a bit ill, but it's been an amazing call and I appreciate you all.
All good, brother. Get her the calls. Focus on the calls with her, not the effect. All right.
Oh.
And drain that into your daughter's subconscious mind. Like, hey, listen, you don't have to be sick to get healthier.
Say hi,
Sickness
Abby.
is an effect. Hey, Abby. Sickness is an effect. What's the cause, right? So always focus on the cause. Beloved, bro. That was Ice Cube said the quote. If you're not willing to do something for 5 years without expecting to get paid, then don't start it. It's a very honest.
Right.
Y'all, do you know how long I've been doing these mindset calls? Like how long I was doing before I made money. Forget how long, how many of them I did before I made money. Years. That's why I can come with a list this big and do a call this long. Years. You know how long I've been writing out, Rob, where you at, Rob? Rob, hoodie off. That's not who you want to be. Come on, man. You look too good for that. See, you look 10 times better. Isn't it funny how when you become the person you want to be, you look better? Rob, what did I show you yesterday when I showed you my notebooks? What was in my notebooks?
Your gratitude and goals.
I literally have a tub in my closet, like a container about that big, that has books and books and books and books and books of literally affirmations. I would write out 50 times a day the number of income I want to earn, which was $5,124.75. $5,124.75. I wrote that out and that was for me to earn that in a week. That was my weekly goal. I wrote that out every single day. I have tubs. Like I showed Rob, I flipped through like papers of affirmations over and 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 over. So when you all are in the accountability group and I say, hey, write your goal 10 times, write out your gratitudes 10 times a day. I've been doing that since 2015. If you're in sales and I say, hey, make three sales calls a day, I've been doing that since 2015. Do you all understand that concept? If you're not willing to do something for 5 years, I'll get paid, which is not a long time. How many of y'all got 5-year-old kids? Do they do anything for you? Other than make you smile, make you feel good. Of course, that's a child, right? But what I mean is this, constructively. Like if you were going to hire them, would you hire them? No. 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 You wouldn't, because the child is not designed for that task yet. They're not cooking for you at 5 years old. They're not washing your clothes at 5 years old. They're not even washing themselves at 5 years old. You know what type of fight you got to have to get a toddler in the tub? It's so like you find a bear, you see arms and legs, and come here, hold still. I don't want to make that. You know what type of fight it is to get a toddler in the tub? To get a toddler then to dry off without running away after they get out the tub? They don't even clean themselves, let alone cleaning you. So you telling me you want money that flows to you for the rest of your life, every single day or week, until you die, and then hopefully for your kids' kids, right? You want generational wealth that flows to your family when you're long gone, but you're not willing to give something 20 years to get it? You want something to flow to your family for 200 years, but you're not willing to put in 20. Notice how I skipped from 5 to 20 to change your perspective using the law of relativity. Relative to 200 years, 20 years is not a long time, is it? But you want money to flow to your kids' kids. That's what it says. Leave an inheritance for your children's children. Well, children's children, that's like 200 years. By the time they die, we're dealing with a 200-year cycle. So you're telling me I am designed to leave something behind that lasts 200 years minimum. And don't make your minimums your maximums either. I don't have a 200-year goal. I got a 2,000-year plan. That's why I want a castle. Castles last a lot longer than houses. Who the hell wants a house anymore? I want a castle. They still got castles that are here from 2,000 years ago that families still go to. And my great, 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 great granddaddy left this one behind. You know why you don't know your great, 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 great grandparent? Because they didn't leave you anything. You want to know why you don't know who you are? Because the person that made you didn't tell you because they didn't know. You want to know why when most people die, they leave bills behind versus inheritance? Because they didn't know that they didn't know. We got to wake up. Are you all getting this? So, to wake you all up, here's your homework. All right. Y'all ready for some homework? Every single day for up until the next mindset call. And you all can post this in if you're in the accountability chat. That's what I want you to do. All right. Every single day, I want you to write out the 7 laws and their definition. Just something about them. Write out the 7 laws definition and post a picture in the chat. This is not a non-negotiable. You don't have to add it in this one. So if you don't have to do burpees. But if you do it, watch what happens and watch how you're going to be on a call. You're going to be talking to somebody, and all of a sudden you know how to use the universal law of cause and effect to get this person to say yes to your business. Watch how you're going to be and looking for a spouse. I don't know what it is, and you're going to use a universal law of polarity to get that woman or male to go with you on a date. Be honest with you. Watch how you're going to use the universal laws. Watch how it's going to change everything in your life for you to get your kids to eat vegetables. Watch. Next 7 days. New people. If you're brand new on the line, I'll make sure to connect with you. I know we got a handful of new people on the line. Karen, welcome Karen to the call. Gabriel texted me about you. Karen, we can connect afterwards. I know there's some other people on the line as well. Joseph, Akim, and a few more that are brand new. I want you all to text me what you learned, what you're going to do, biggest feedback. And if you got social media, tag me in your social media, whatever you want to do. If you post that quote, tag me. I want my royalty check. All right, I'm gonna make a book of quotes and I'm gonna sell it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna create a book of quotes and I'm gonna sell it so I can make money off my quotes. You see, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm using the universal laws to my benefit. Anyways, last thing, self-mastery London retreat. We sold out. Let's go. Listen, I can't wait to see you all in London. In a couple of weeks, I will be announcing. Listen, I told you all when we were working on the London retreat, we already got this the second retreat in the books. All right. The second self-mastery retreat, for those that are not attending London, we already have something we're working on. I will make sure I promote every single retreat 9 months in advance to give you all time to prepare. So the next retreat we're going to be doing will be in August, because I didn't want to make it too long of a timeout. So we will announce that in November, December, for people that want to attend the next retreat, which is, I think it's gonna be better than the first one. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Ray, I don't know. Let's not say that too much. Some of y'all already know too much. Alexandria, Shaheen, y'all already know a little too much because I kind of slipped up. Anyways, congratulations. I can't wait to see you all. And if you're gonna be in London, I cannot wait to see you. Trust me, trust me, trust me. It's gonna be amazing. You know, for somebody like me who's always been to different retreats and different events, I can't wait. Peter just got back from one as well. So he can tell you the power of getting together, being at these events. And Peter paid a lot more than what y'all just paid. Peter, you dropped about, I don't want to say the number. you dropped about, just know he bought a car to go to that retreat. Just know y'all paid a car note to come to this one. All right, just know the difference. I ain't gonna say the number, but it's about 30,000. But hey, listen, I've invested hundreds of thousands. Peter's invested hundreds of thousands, and there's a reason why we end up in those types of rooms. However much you value yourself will be how much you invest in yourself. If you hesitate to invest into yourself, that's because you don't know the value of yourself. This is a sales pitch, just in case you ever wondered. Get to the retreats, get the experience. I spoke with my mentor who's a billionaire. He said, listen, I've had every car you can name twice. I have jets, I have yachts, I have more homes than a neighborhood. This is one of my mentors told me this. We were sitting down smoking cigars. And he said, I don't value any of those as much as I do my experiences now. He said, I'd rather pay for now. I'm not saying a Lamborghini can't be an experience. It actually is. But he said, I pay for experiences now. I pay for experiences. I pay for experiences. I don't really care about the flashy though. This is a $10 t-shirt I just bought. But I'll put $1,000 to go to Vegas. Not to gamble, just to go. I'd rather pay for experiences because y'all don't know how much this t-shirt costs. I pay for experiences. So we will announce the second self-mastery retreat. Those will be available December the 1st. Again, it's going to be limited. Everything's going to be limited. We'll have a regular and we'll have a VIP. You know, and for those that want to, I'm just going to give you a heads up. Regular is going to be 777. VIP is going to be 1,111. It's because we're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff. Give you a heads up. But the point of it is, with that retreat, I have so many people in the States that want to come to that one outside of the group. That's why I'm raising the price. And it's going to be amazing. I know I'm getting ahead of myself because we haven't even got to London yet. but with the retreat in Utah, I'm working on bringing some specific people to that retreat as well. All right, some higher up individuals to hang out with you all for a day to 2 to 3 days. So that's why I'm playing everything 9 months in advance. I'm letting you all know now, so don't be surprised, right? Jason, tickets are sold out for the second retreat. I'm letting you know now. Don't be surprised. But it's going to be amazing. So yeah, just wanted to prepare you all. Some of you have been asking me about the gold cards. What we're going to do for the retreat. Shout out to Peter for giving Grant Cardone his gold coin. We will be creating some things like that for people that are attending the retreat. Some limited edition millionaire coins. All right. So they're going to be pretty sweet. And I talked to my guy Ron today, and I said the most valuable thing I have in my possession are the coins that my mentor gave me, because there's something physical I can keep. I keep it in my pocket. I touch it. It reminds me where I'm going. So we will be designing some cool stuff like that for the retreats for you all to have keepsakes and things to take home. But the retreats are going to be fun. Get ready. You better not come in a suit, because you're going to sweat. You better get you some athletic gear, because these are not going to be sit down and look at each other retreats. No, we're going to have fun. We're going to get active. You're going to leave this retreat in better shape than when you came in, not just mentally, but physically. So Abby's stretching right now. She's I saw that, Abby. She did one of these. Get ready. You're gonna need to stretch. Prepare yourselves. All right, make sure you all preparing yourself physically. Make sure you're all preparing yourself health-wise. Drink your water, get your cardio in, make sure your heart rate is up to speed. When I move, I move. I do not stop. We're gonna have some fun. London's gonna be a very cool experience. And it's gonna be amazing to see you all out there. And then the second retreat here in the States. The second retreat will be here in the States. I'm not gonna tell you where it's gonna be. But it's gonna be somewhere nice and warm and very adventurous for you all. So let's go and let's grow. Love you all. See you at the top. It's way to grab the bottom. Peace.